What's up, bots? Thanks for tuning in. Today, I plan on answering a question that I've been getting a lot, and that is why CHODINKO? What is the point of creating your own game show? In this video, I will explain everything. So we're going to go, this is an overview of what you can expect. So we're going to go over the problems, i.e. the simplicity of regular game shows, the constant explaining, the lack of agency, the problem with trivia, the outdated format of game shows, the fact that you're not a player, and the solution that CHODINKO brings, and the project roadmap. So first of all, the problem with game shows. So a few game shows are actually worth watching, but most of them become stale and predictable. The exciting moments are few and far between. Here are 6 problems that I think ruin most game shows. So first of all, game shows are too simple. Many game shows can be explained in a single sentence because they are too simple. They're intended to be shown on TV. The creators want anyone to be able to start watching at any point and know what's going on without ever having seen it before. Now, what if there was a game show that was more like a board game? With a board game, there's strategy involved. You can hear the rules, but it won't really make sense until you've seen the game in action. The idea here is complexity. So you remember the episode of Friends where Joey's practicing to be a game show host for the show Bamboozled? Well, Chandler hates it because it's too complicated at first, but then when he gets bamboozled, he admits it's the best game ever. Now, I can't be the only one who would legitimately watch that game show. It's impossible. Everyone I know would be like, yep, I'd 100% watch that. So here is how we're reimagining the concept of a game show. So imagine if this game show continually improved based on feedback from the community. What if there was a game show that acted as a live service? A game show with multiple variables within the rules that could be changed, huh? What if there were different game modes and custom games? Imagine you're playing COD. You're choosing between a death match or search and destroy. Or say you're doing a wrestling match. You could do a ladder match, or you could do a Hell in a Cell. It's the same concept, but just tweaking the rules so that you get a slightly different gameplay and outcome. Here's the next problem. The host constantly explains the rules. So the host is constantly explaining what's going on as if you've never seen the show before. When you watch basketball, right, do the commentators repeatedly remind you what the rules are? No, they trust that you know what's going on. You figure it out. So what if there was a game show that doesn't explain the rules constantly? Next problem with game shows is a lack of agency. See, in most game shows, players have very few options. They might get a multiple choice question or the option to end the game and leave, and that sucks. So what if there was a game show that allows players to make decisions that will completely change the trajectory of the game? Now, these players make multiple decisions every single turn. So here's the great thing about having more options, right? What if there were a game show that let you do the following? Okay, so negotiating a deal with your opponent, bamboozling them, bankrupting them, framing them for a crime they didn't commit, and sending them to prison. That sounds pretty fun. So what if also the currency earned in the game could be used to buy things to help you win? You can either get things to get you closer to the finish line, or get things to put your opponent further away from the finish line. Now, the next problem is that trivia rewards knowledge. The problem with trivia is it only rewards those who know the answer. They either get it right or they don't. The contestant has only 3 options. They either know the answer, or they guess, or they pass. The same happens to you as a viewer. Now, say you're watching a trivia game show, you know the answer, and your contestant knows the answer. You both get it right. That was easy. What if you don't know the answer, but the contestant does know the answer? Well, then, I mean, it's a good guess from him. Yeah, good job. If you know the answer, but the contestant doesn't know the answer, you're like, what an idiot. How did he not know that? Everyone knows that. And then if you don't know the answer and the contestant doesn't know the answer, you're just like, well, how would anyone know that? That's an impossible question. So there's very limited outcomes here when you are asking trivia questions. So what if there was a game that doesn't include any trivia, where general knowledge is completely irrelevant and knowledge of the game is what matters? A game show with over 20 minigames to test your creativity, gambling, and negotiation skills. That sounds a lot more interesting. Next problem. It's an outdated format. So game shows are intended for TV audiences, which means they're built on a weak foundation. No one watches TV anymore because the way we consume content has completely changed. It needs to be updated. I want things to be fast and furious. So game shows waste time by trying to build fake success. Jesus. Game shows waste time by trying to build fake suspense so that they can show you ads. Now, what if there was a game show that has strict timers that keep the game moving at an unhinged pace? That sounds a lot more quick and fun. And game shows tend to be created by TV networks that dictate that the content be family friendly. That's boring. What if there was a game show that's completely independent and therefore completely unhinged? Next problem is that you're not a player. So viewers don't have any impact on the outcome of the game. You're merely spectating, right? So what if viewers could actually play too? What if they could join and interfere? Imagine if the deciding factor in whether a player wins or loses a game is a vote from a group of viewers that have voting rights. Similar to like Ask the Audience in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. But the difference here is that the audience is viewing remotely. They're not in the studio, and they would vote throughout the game, not just when it's, ask the audience. And the size of the audience with the voting rights would change depending on how many are logged in. So you could have 3 people it's called the rowdy crowd, or you could have over 100. So as I said, it's called the rowdy crowd. So this is the audience. They get randomly sorted into 2 teams. So team 1, their goal is to get player 1 to win, and team 2 is trying to get player 2 to win. No one in the audience knows what team everyone is on. So it's a free-for-all. When they vote, they can place bets on the winners, and they get rewarded for correct predictions. They could use the winnings to buy cards from the black market and donate them to contestants. Now, they could also pool money together to buy these cards. Now, these viewers with voting rights are the rowdy crowd. It's like Twitch chat, but they're interfering in the game through gambling. So this is the contestant hierarchy. We're going to have the 2 contestants actually playing the game, and here are the rowdy crowd. They are the premium members that interfere with the outcomes of the game, and then there's the viewers who spectate. So those are the people on YouTube. So this is the solution, okay? So Chodinko is the solution to all of these problems, right? It's a completely new form of media. A game show as fast and deep as speed chess. A game show that continually improves by adding new playable characters, mini games, rules, events, and new game modes. It's the world's first live service game show. So this is the project roadmap. We are at step 0 at the moment. So this is all the work that we need to do. There's 5 key milestones that have to be reached before Chodinko has really reached its potential. So we got the minimum viable product, game expansion, local rowdy crowd integration, online rowdy crowd integration, and the Chodinko championships. So milestone 1, the minimal viable product. The game will become fully automated. We'll have 1 map, 6 mini games, 2 playable characters, 1 judge, and 9 dialogue trees. Once we get to milestone 2, we've got the minimum viable product, and then we just need to keep adding features. So we add more maps, more mini games, more playable characters and judges, and 27 dialogue trees. And we also introduce custom games, so you can really tweak it. Milestone 3 will be the local rowdy crowd integration. So we'll have 3 rowdy crowd members minimum participating in the game. It'll only be local, so it won't be available to a wider audience. Again, it'll be the people in the studio. They'll be able to vote through the game UI on the PC or through the app. Then the mini game states will be updated, and we'll introduce some short form content. We'll have to open Chodinko Studios and start working on the community feedback to start that flywheel effect. So milestone 4 is the online rowdy crowd integration. So this will allow 69 rowdy crowd members remotely logged in, and the rowdy crowd members will also get bonuses. Milestone 5 is the Chodinko Championships. This is the Mount Everest. So we'll have 100 plus rowdy crowd members that can sign online during one game. Bi-monthly main events, Chodinko Bowl, Baller Mode, and an affiliate program for the guests. And then the future will just, who knows? We might go for VR integration, introduce franchising, create a Chodinko bot that single player people can play against, and then a real time Chodinko bot visualizer. So for all the things that you're inventing throughout the game, can be visualized in real time. So I hope that answers why we're doing Chodinko, what we're going to do. I don't know how we're going to do it, but it's going to be very interesting to see how it goes. It's going to take years, and it's going to be a worthwhile life mission. So thank you.